Hi, everyone. Welcome to this interview with a really wonderful person that I was introduced to a couple years ago. And John Paul Mugisha is the founder and director and lead teacher of the brilliant nursery and primary school of
Yes,
Uganda, East Uganda, West Uganda,
Western Uganda.
West Uganda.
Yes.
So let me say that name again, the Brilliant Nursery and Primary School of West Uganda. And I bring him here today to interview and talk with him about why he started this school and why it is such a precious organization for his community. Our focus on the Day of Calm this year, our primary focus is helping John Paul build this school. Because right now, the children that are going, all approximately 400 of them, are attending school in buildings that are of wood. The roofs are not good. The floor is mud. The tables are shared wood constructed tables. And although it gives them a place to go out of the elements, it is not a permanent solution. And these children need a permanent solution for their school that gives them so much and enriches so much. And so today's focus, this year's Day of Calm focus, like I said, is getting this school built and getting John Paul the resources he needs to provide salaries, food, clothing, everything that these kids and teachers require to make their lives more successful. So welcome, John Paul.
Thank you, Salia.
So let me ask you first, would you tell me if this school didn't exist, and then I'll ask you why you started it, which will kind of lead into this, what would a child's life be like, or what is a child's life like in your community that doesn't go to school? What kind of life do they live?
Okay, first of all, as you've already heard, my name is Mugisha John Paul. I wish everyone a happy International Calms Day. Back to our community, I started this school purposely to help the children because of a number of reasons. Number one, this place being located near the tea factory, many children were resorting to early child labor. Because many children were in tea plantations picking, earning some very little money, which cannot even sustain them. So another reason is that many children were resorting to early marriages because of poverty. The people around this place are very poor because they are earning very little from the tea plantation, and most of them are peasant farmers. So I realized that there was a great need for me to come up with a school because children were walking long distances to go to schools, to the nearby schools, of which some of them, they would meet bad people on the way, bad peer groups, and ended up dropping out of school. So I decided to start a school so that I can reach those children, mainly those who are from a very poor background. So we have people in that area. Many orphans are there. The reason being that being near the tea plantation, many people have acquired HIV because people come from distant places to this community. So it has led to death. As a result, there are many orphans in our community. But today, as we talk, we have brought many of them back to school. We encourage them to be in school. We even have some children who are HIV positive in our school. They're HIV positive, though their parents are still living. but they are worried because anytime their parents may die and leave them alone. So Brilliant School, we feel it is a school which has come to solve, because many people have interest in our school, only that we lack the buildings, we lack basic materials, the salary. Sometimes I even stop registering employing more teachers because of lack of funds to pay them. So as a result, we have limited number of 400 children. Our classes are not enough. Even the wooden, they are muddy, and even at times you find the children are starving at school. But we try to do our best to make sure the school continue running. Thank you, Celia.
It's so wonderful that you did this for your community and these children. And, you mentioned that a lot of girls go into an early marriage because of poverty. What age does a child or a parent feel like they need to give their child to a person, a man, for early marriage? What age does that usually happen with?
It is 14, 15, 16.
And these are just random men?
Sometimes, I beg your pardon.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes these children run away from their parents and hide and start cohabiting with men. Yes.
So it's a lot of times people that they meet, they just run away from home and they meet
Yes.
these people.
Yes.
Is human trafficking a problem in your area?
Currently, it's not a problem. Cohabiting is mainly the problem, and even sometimes taking children to work in distant places is also a challenge.
And when kids work in the factory that's located near your community or within your community, what ages do they wind up doing that? What ages do they start working?
Oh, in a factory, the children don't work in the factory directly because they cannot allow them, but they work for the farmers, the local farmers who plant tea. They work for these local farmers because in the factory inside they don't allow them.
Okay.
Yes.
And what ages do they usually start working?
12, 13, even 10 years. I've seen them 10 years in tea gardens picking.
And so do a lot of these kids just not go to school if they're not going to your school because it's too much of a burden, too long a walk, too dangerous?
Yeah, sometimes they leave school completely. They don't go to any school.
And now I have met many of your students through virtual lessons that I've taught, and they just seem so happy and excited, and they just seem to look forward to learning.
Yes.
You currently have about 400 kids enrolled in the Brilliant School?
Yes, yes.
And what ages do you start and go up to?
From 3 to 16.
And do many of your students, are they able to start young and continue as they grow?
They're able as long as they're provided for.
It's wonderful. And can you tell us about a few things? I know you've started a pond and planting so that you have food right there ready for you and your students. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've started?
Yes, so we have started the Piggery project. We are trying to help the children to learn how to keep pigs, so that when time comes and we're able to get enough pigs, we can give them out to those children. They also go and keep them at their homes as a source of income. We have the fish pond. The fish pond, we purposely started it to improve on the nutrition of the children, because we expect the moment God provides a way and we get us enough structures, some children will be staying at school forever, especially like orphans. like those children who are abandoned by their parents, those children who come from very poor families and which cannot afford. So we have done that one, the fish pond. And another thing is we can even keep the surplus for selling so that we can get money to run some of other school activities.
I love that. And when the kids stay at school, they live there. Do you have facilities now for them to sleep there?
Currently, we don't have. That's why we watch them wherever they are. Even if they're staying in bad condition, we have nothing to do.
So
we have
one of
enough
the things
land.
we need to build is like a dormitory.
Yes, dormitory.
So they can stay.
Okay.
And for your teachers, because I know one of the struggles is just paying your teachers and keeping them employed so they don't find employment elsewhere.
Yes.
How many teachers work currently at the Brilliant School?
We have 12 teachers and 3 non-teaching staff.
And do they teach all subjects to the kids?
Yes, they teach all the subjects to the kids, but they get tired so much because there is always a gap for other teachers. So we overwork them.
And how do the kids get to school?
They walk all the way from their homes.
And how long a distance is that sometimes?
5 kilometers, 7 kilometers.
And
even some of them 9.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Even some of them walk 9 kilometers to come to school.
And what if a child doesn't show up for school? Do you do anything?
Sometimes what we do, we make a follow-up, especially when the kid miss school like twice. We make sure we visit that home.
So you're very intentional about getting these kids into school.
Yes, please.
And how do you find new students? Do they find you or do you find them?
They find us at school. They hear the wonderful work we are doing and they come and follow us.
I love it. That's so great. And it's such a great decision you made to open this school. And are you a teacher by study? I mean, is that what you have been?
Yes, I studied and I have a diploma in primary education. I am a teacher by profession.
So you naturally love kids and love teaching.
Yes, I do love so much.
Yeah.
I do love them.
The kids are great. It just brightens my day whenever I have the opportunity to teach them.
They give me
virtually.
Energy. Yeah, they give me energy when they're around me.
They do. And they're so happy. And, you know, it makes you realize, and I want the people listening to this and watching this to help them realize that we in various other areas of the world, especially in the United States, are so fortunate. And you don't even realize how fortunate you are. And yet these children who live in poverty and don't even have the necessities of life have such joy and so many smiles on their face and are so excited to just learn. And I remember when I did my lesson on hygiene and I spoke about toothbrushes, and as somebody in the United States, you would assume everyone had a toothbrush. And if you remember, that little boy raised his hand and he's like, how do I brush my teeth if I don't have a toothbrush? So even simple things like that. And of course, we shipped you many, many toothbrushes, like 500 toothbrushes and toothpaste and all of that. Because we in other countries that don't live in the kind of poverty these families are forced to live in, just assume that everybody else has these wonderful benefits, you know, and until something like this is brought to your attention, that, hey, we are so fortunate that even people that live in what they consider scarcity in the United States and other countries are far more blessed with abundance than what your community lives in. And so it's our job to help you guys. And that's what our focus is on this year, is getting you the buildings you need. Can you describe, and the supplies, the school supplies, buildings, uniforms, teacher salaries, there's so much that's going to go into this, and we need your help. The ones that are listening and watching this, we need your help to make this a reality for years to come, so they can have a school, they can have a place to stay. Orphans have a home to live at because the school has beds for them. So can you tell us what the buildings are like right now? And then we do have pictures of them, but how are they constructed? What are they, made of?
Okay, the current buildings we have, they're made up of wood, the offcuts, which are very cheap here, and the floor, we don't have the floor, it's just mud and dust, and they are easily attacked by termites. So the weather sometimes doesn't even favor us, so we are there.
And once the termites get into the wood, that's it.
Yeah.
Fast destruction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we cannot display the learners' work, because when it rains, the wind blows them off with even water. And jiggers, another challenge we have faced is the jiggers. Jiggers, the whole class is filled with the jiggers. They eat people. They enter the body through the feet. Jiggers.
Yes.
Jiggers,
and because it's a mud floor.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can control the jiggers?
When the children come from home, we pour their water. We pour there some water, but it's a temporary measure, because the moment that water gets dried up, the jiggers come back. Because even some children have them in their feet.
And do these children have shoes? Do the shoes stop it? Or do most of them not have shoes?
Most of them, they don't have shoes. They can't afford to buy shoes.
So that's something else that we could help provide, is shoes for these kids.
Okay, thank you.
Along with their clothing. And I know you have uniforms there.
Yes, they're supposed to wear uniforms, but some of them can't afford uniforms. That's why sometimes I take pictures, others in uniform, others not in uniform. I send them back home to inform their guardians to buy for them uniforms. Their guardians come to school, they start crying, we can't afford. What can I do? I want my child to learn. So I just leave them to come and continue learning.
Right. So that's another thing on the list, guys. We'll be getting money to pay for uniforms for all of the children. All of the children. So there's a lot we have to do here to get your school up, permanent, so it's not affected by rain, termites, jiggers, all the things that they have to really encounter in a regular day at school, and give you the ability to teach them, have them grow, nourish them, and keep them safe from what's going on in that community.
Oh, it's so humble prayer.
Yes, I agree.
It's so humble.
Okay, well, John Paul, I'm really grateful for you coming on. I'm glad we were able to finally record this, because we've been having a challenge, you guys don't even know, of trying to get a platform to record this on where we could see and hear each other. And
Okay.
I'm so grateful we were able to find one. And thank you, StreamYard, for allowing this. So I appreciate it. We'll get the word out. We will start having you guys go to a site, which I will put in here so that you know where you can start donating. And it will even list what you want to donate for: building supplies, uniforms, school supplies, shoes, salaries. And also we're going to have a feature called Sponsor a Contractor. And what that means, and I haven't even told John Paul this yet, what that means is we're going to give you the opportunity to sponsor a contractor. And that means that we are going to send people to John Paul in West Uganda to build this school and get it done. So I already have people lined up that want to go, but they need the funds for the airfare to get over there, and they're willing to give their time to get this school built. So you will also be able to sponsor a contractor. Super excited about that feature. So it sounds good, right, John Paul?
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the time you have given me. I'm so grateful, and we are praying and believing God that something good is going to happen.
Absolutely.
For our future.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. Say hi to the kids, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.